Our last talk for this track is Sofia Yotova. How are you, Sofia?
I'm terrified.
You are really?
No, I'm joking.
Okay, good. All right. Using NFTs for financial and psychological self-empowerment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we all can see very clearly that you have this. So, all right.
Thank you.
Any way I can support,
Thank
let me
you.
know. Yep. Sophia. I said Sophia.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. This is not necessarily a sexy topic, but it's a topic that deserves a little bit of attention. Let me see how many of the people here have ever struggled with their mental health in any way. How many people have used their creativity to kind of navigate out of this space? Well, I'm going to tell you a quick story about a woman who wanted to die. But that's not a sad story, because instead of taking her own life, she used her courage, curiosity, and creativity to invent her own unique process of self-empowerment. That woman was me, and I call that process pain to power. And the reason I'm talking to you from this stage today is that the NFT technology unexpectedly became the catalyst in that process and my very tool for self-empowerment. That woman on the left was me a little over a year ago. And that woman wanted to die because after spending her 20s grinding, achieving other people's dreams, climbing the corporate career, with a dormant mental illness and no healthy coping skills in place, I actually burned out, lost a baby, and got myself to the edge of suicide last year. And I became completely unable to support myself financially. And unexpectedly, the NFT technology, let's see how we do this. Yes, please support me, which is what exactly all of us people struggling, we need support. We need different types of help that can get us to the next stage so we can figure out how to navigate difficult situations such as this one. But that's totally fine. I'm not supposed to be here officially because I am a total outsider, both to the art space and to the tech space. I am originally from Bulgaria, and I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder after struggling with my mental health for a decade. And thankfully, I actually knew about a podcast where I learned the NFT technology exists, it's out there. And at the time, I wasn't even making art. I actually had my own social enterprise in the food space. I am a trained journalist and a storyteller, but last summer I got to a point where I couldn't communicate, I couldn't articulate how I was feeling, I couldn't read books, I couldn't listen to podcasts, I couldn't do anything. And what I started doing was drawing out of desperation because I didn't have access to any other tool to figure out who I am and how to do life. And thank you for that.
Sophia, will you just signal Paris in the back that you would like to move this?
Excellent. Let's move to the next slide, please. So let me zoom out a little bit and tell you why this is important. So I basically am your average struggling person. Someone from Bulgaria, someone who doesn't have in her environment necessarily people to kind of get me into this space. And that's why the journey from zero to NFT, for me personally, was so difficult. There were multiple people on that journey who actually helped me be on that stage. There was somebody who educated me about the existence of the technology. There was somebody who actually made me believe that my idea to merge my mental health struggles and the potential of the technology is not crazy, which was my therapist. There was somebody who enabled me to actually start using the technology because he gave me my first crypto money and he became my first NFT collector. And then last October, I got on Twitter for the first time in my life and had a champion who gave me a voice to start telling my story. There weren't too many people like me over there, and that's why I'm very privileged to be on this stage here, because the NFT technology literally helped me fund my life and create a whole new reality. And that reality looked a little bit like what we're going to see next. So once I was able to kind of start figuring out how to navigate my inner challenges, I was able to channel my creativity into something that basically is this. I invented my own system for visual communication that I used to teach people to process difficult inner experiences. And the way I initially did that was by making some doodles. Very simple, very playful, very human, that channeled what was going inside of me and actually told the story of what it feels like to be on top and then hitting rock bottom. And so wrapping that struggle in my creativity and using the NFT technology to actually transform that into something tangible was what allowed me, and it's still not working, but that's all right. Can you please keep helping me? What happened basically is that I was able to start selling my doodles as NFTs to collectors around the world, and that's what allowed me to leave the country where I was living at the time and relocate to the Netherlands, where I started channeling that creativity into various self-empowering practices and habits and teaching people around the world how to do the same thing. Unfortunately, not too many people yet are able to do what I did, just because it's not as easy to get into the NFT space as we want to believe. It's not easy if you're an outsider. It's not easy if you're struggling with your mental health daily. It's not easy if you don't know what you're going to eat tomorrow, because that's what my life personally has been a lot like. And so I don't come here today with a solution necessarily. I come with a problem and a proof of concept. Because from someone who was a total outsider, I figured out a hidden road to find an application of this technology that can empower me to empower others. And my question is, can we make this sustainable? Because I needed to be on Twitter actively, I needed to be socializing, I needed to do all the things that we all need to do in order to make it in the NFT space. And I can't do that anymore. I can't do that every day. And I'm not the only one. Every 40 seconds, someone in the world takes their own life. Struggling with mental health is something that we talk about more and more, but it's not necessarily an empowering conversation in a way that's actionable. On the next slide, I want to show you what actually happened for me when I was able to receive some support. This is what happened until several days ago. This is a collaborative installation by the community for the community, which invited people from around the world to share how their creativity has empowered them in their lives. And the reason I wanted to show this is because there is no way to find a hidden road to a nice destination if you don't accidentally find yourself there. Not wanting to be alive because I felt worthless and unable to earn money by working sustainably every day is not a great way to feel. And also, it's not a special story. There are many people who can be here and won't be able to be here unless we find a way to actually have a larger conversation about this and find a business model or a solution to pair people who need help with people who want to help. On the next slide, I want to show you one last thing. I don't speak Japanese, but saisei is a Japanese word that means rejuvenation, rebirth. And for me, unbelievably, from someone who wanted to die, the NFT technology actually became the journey to an international bold artist who talks about difficult subjects and an educator on mental health who wants to have empowering conversations about topics that we don't want to talk about, even though they're so relatable, so human, and so present. I have a minute and a half, and I haven't made the best use of this time, which is what I was terrified of. That's what happens with many people. We try to do so much, and we don't do enough. But with my remaining time, I want to do something that's important to me, and I want to read you a few words that I wrote last year. It's from a poem that's called Ego Death. And it goes like this. What if you wake up with no identity? Without a sense of purpose and a will to live? What if you're no longer who you were, but not yet who you're meant to be? Do you choose to die so you can come to life? Or do you struggle to survive and live imprisoned in your mind? I was a technical writer, wasting my life doing work that nobody ever saw. And then circumstances got me to a point where I saw no purpose to wake up. But then that got me here. So I hope that all the applications that you've heard about the NFT technology will have a little space around them about this thing, using it as a tool for self-empowerment and for empowering others. And if you have ideas how this can become a sustainable tool, please reach out. I'm always happy to hear. Thank you.